Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican. Greetings, I would like to present to you the reasons why I have unsubscribed from TNS Truth Never Sleeps by Sonny Cardona. He has this look that reminds me of Billy Mays, even his presentation style that he enters the video with enthusiasm reminds me of Billy Mays. One thing, however, that he does that is different is that he is not professional like Billy Mays. He doesn't have the message clear and properly articulated. He tends to make a lot of filler words and having to resort to using other people's work without always giving them credit. I've been noticing this trend for a while, and at first I was supportive of Sonny, giving him suggestions, wishing him well, hoping that he would improve on his video techniques over time. Here is a video where I show my support for him, talk about the situation where he gets into an argument with a call for an uprising, and Mario Brisson, he argues with them and they argue back. Those two, I believe they are false truthers. A call for an uprising is at least taking a break. I appreciate that from him. Taking time to study the Bible and not uploading future videos until he gets his spiritual life right. That's my understanding of the matter. Mario Brisson, however, the vigilant Christian, he uploads. He gets yoked up with the churches that are Canadian charities. That's the equivalent of 501c3. That's the Canadian equivalent, which have very bothersome practices. I go over some of those in my previous videos, and I plan to even expose and discuss more why the Canadian charity and why the 501c3 is a bad thing. Just wanted to take a little note. Sonny, he doesn't even bother to spell Illuminati correct. He forgets an I at the end. So many of these videos that he makes are rushed. They are not gone through quality control, whereas I try to do my best and get the quality in there, put that little extra effort. A few verses that I wanted to share. Romans 12:18, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. That word lieth, for those less acquainted with English, that means depend. In the context of the verse, it would mean as much as it depends on you. Now let's go to Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. My goal is not to have this big fight about who's the best and who's the worst. It's not even to play popularity games. It's to make sure that the people who call themselves Christians, they are in the truth and that their conduct is going correctly. A quick video that he made, Santa Claus Exposed. This E is unnecessary, that refers to the Disney movies. He simply goes to Google Images, lazily types a few keywords, and he found a scary Santa Claus photo, and he'll say that he exposed it.
And it crushes hearts, right? I remember when I found out that there was no Santa,
So that's essentially his format. He will go to sites, open up a bunch of sites. His format tends to be scattered and all over the place, whereas I try to keep everything organized and straightforward here. In this very vague description though, he begins with Baphomet, New World Order, these types of theories. And he ends with food, water. When we click read more, takes up the whole page. It's all here. It's all a bunch of information. scattered around. He recommends against eating GMO foods, which seems fine, but it's written in this big conspiracy, scary, amateur way. Weight Watchers, that people shouldn't go to Weight Watchers. There are some concerns with Oprah Winfrey sponsoring Weight Watchers, but it is still a program that teaches about weight loss. There are also alternatives available, so weight loss programs can very much help out people in need. Recently, he made a video about Fidel Castro, but he misspells it as Fidial Castro, misspelled, and accuses him of being an Illuminati Cuban dictator. I'll show you right now. He reads verbatim the article. It's not very professional. Let's have a listen.
Castro died at 10:29 on Friday night. His brother Raul Castro announced on Cuban state TV. The controversial leader led Cuba for nearly half a century as both prime minister and president. Vladimir Putin has branded him the symbol of an era and a distinguished statesman, of course, because again, this is what Vladimir Putin promotes. Again, we know that Russia was completely, part of the communist state, which they say they broke away from, but they're still part of. Let's not get fooled here. The French president Francos branded him a towering figure, but voiced concerns about human rights abuse in Cuba. Of course, he killed. You don't know how many people this man killed. Castro made his last official appearance before.
As you can see, reading verbatim, not putting the information in his own words, something that in school, in college, university, the people are taught to say things in their own words, to use only small samples necessary. He even butchers the pronunciations of François. Daily Mail has a lot of links of immodest woman here, usually, and Truth Never Sleeps doesn't bother to remove those links. Use a reader-friendly page to eliminate these problems. For Fidel Castro, I recommend Neptali 1981. It's 32 minutes, but Tali properly explains what the situation is, what his beliefs are, and what he examines the situation to be. This leads me to the main point why I unsubscribe from Truth Never Sleeps. It was a while ago. Last year, I noticed that he's one of the very few people who will expose this company, Victoria's Secret. Back in 2015, when that show was going on, he made an expose video, and the way it was presented, a lot of immodesty, a lot of women not being covered up, and Sonny would simply show that to a crowd of people that proclaim to be Christian. Here I showed a message that I sent to him, including that some of what he shows might very well be pornographic. Most men, they're not told right away, go watch nude. They're told first, go watch swimsuits, go watch lingerie, and then move on to the nudes later. This is a very dangerous, slippery slope. The video is linked. I thank him for some of the tips that he does present, even though they are presented in a sloppy manner. And in October, to let him know, to remind him to be supportive, I send out a message simply listing some points upon which he can improve. This link I will let you consult later. And also in my video description, it explains my concerns that I had with his previous Victoria's Secret video, what he can do to make sure that the videos are designed well in Jesus' name. I share him my offer to help him out. But he does one for the fashion show 2016. He does it even before it broadcasts. Very sloppy. Goes on Google Images, goes on Daily Mail, reads off a lot without rephrasing in his own words. And he even goes as far as to visit the official Victoria's Secret website. Look at the woman, and like in his previous videos, he will say, look at this bra, look at this panties. very inappropriate talk for some man who claims to be a man of Jesus Christ. What he'll do is simply look at those garments being worn by women, and he'll say that it's satanic simply because he sees a triangle shape in it. However, when you tell men and even some women to look like that, it is encouraging the lust. It's encouraging this type of voyeurism, and to look at women that we're not married to. It's almost guaranteed that a person watching this Truth Never Sleeps channel is not married to the woman being shown here. I'd like now to get into a verse about the consequences when one causes another to stumble. Luke 17:2, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged around his neck, and he cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones. The videos are very depressing, they're very inappropriate, and there's only a little pinch of salt that refers to Jesus Christ. I can no longer endorse the videos of Truth Never Sleeps, given that he gets so much advice and chooses to ignore it. I go on to explain why people give thumbs down to Truth Never Sleeps, how he seems to be an unprofessional version of Billy Mays, the lack of proper understanding of copyright and fair dealing, fair use. What does Sonny do? What does Sonny Cardona from Truth Never Sleeps do? He simply says, don't know. This is despite having suggested that he gets Bible software such as Eloquent shown here to incorporate the Bible more in his videos instead of simply depending on others' work. I make it a point to get the Bible out and to share that, and this is why I use this software. Now I will read to you Luke chapter 10 verse 7. And in the same house remain, eating and drinking such things as they give, for the laborer is worthy of his hire. Go not from house to house. Such a verse like that, proclaimed by Jesus Christ, does not apply, however, to those like Sonny Cardona, who do their work sloppily, who disregard the biblical advice. I'll now get to a verse about admonitions. A man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject. Titus 3:10. The time has come for me to distance myself from Truth Never Sleeps. His unprofessional work, such as exposing the GMO industry, exposing Fidel Castro, exposing Victoria's Secret, the way that he does so is unprofessional, and as a result, whatever good message he intends to share, whatever good intentions he may have, the message gets lost. There is a way to present the message that matters a lot. It must be done with the Bible at the center of the presentation, not just at the very end. I've even acquired several devotional booklets from Kylie Basutti. I shared with Sonny, a former VS model, Angel winner. These are booklets that I have so that the gospel can be shared. 30 days of Bible verses, a DVD with more information, the DVD I made myself, the devotions written by Kylie. Sonny, I really much believe that he needs to step down and take a break for a while. I'm on TFG Ministries. I reach out to several people there, let them know about the deceptive work that is going on with pagan traditions such as Christmas and people such as Barlow Girl who partake in them. It has very infuriated me what these ladies present themselves to be, which is a mirage and an illusion, proven to be a deception. I will be presenting more about the topic of Christmas before year's end. I would simply encourage you at this point to be assured of your salvation. I show women here whom I believe they are saved. Perhaps all of them have been misled in terms of what Christmas is, but I believe they are true followers of Jesus Christ, and that in due time they will find out the truth about Christmas. I will simply leave with this verse, Luke 19:10, for the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. I pray you keep seeking Jesus.
A. Admit that you are a sinner and that you need a Savior. Life. B. Believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord. Life. And C. Confess your sins and commit your life to Him. Life. D. Don't wait until tomorrow.